What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. And as you see by the ticker right there on this Friday night, the day after Thanksgiving, the Knicks pull off a great victory, a miraculous victory, I'll say, by beating the Miami Heat 100-98. Oh, man, talking about a crazy win. Crazy win, because at one moment in the game, it looked like the Knicks were dead in the water, man. Dead in the water. I was like, okay, this game looks like it's over. I was even thinking about maybe like just turning it off and going to eat some more leftovers. That's what I felt like doing. But I said, no, I love my team. I'm going to stay locked in. I'm going to stay focused. And just like that, that's what the Knicks did. Jesus D, what's going on, man? Hope all is well. Happy Thanksgiving, or shall I say happy Black Friday, man, because that's what the Knicks play like today. They didn't play like they was eating leftovers. They play like they were saying, okay, you know what? It's time to do it. It's Black Friday. Let's get these discounts. Let's go out there and let's get busy, man. And that's exactly what we did. Atlantic Line, what's going on? Gideon, what's going on, man? Hope all is well. Salute to you. Happy holidays to all you guys. But yeah, man, listen, great win. Great win. You know, it's wins like this and games like this it just makes you fall in love with this team. It does. Yes, of course. It gives you cardiac arrest at times. That's why they've been called the cardiac Knicks, because they're crazy play at times. But you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Knicks Heat rivalry. This is what it is, man. This is what it brings out. It brings out big time wins like this. A comeback victory for the Knicks. Gravity, what's going on, man? Hope all is well. Happy Turkey Day, or shall I say second Turkey Day, because it's all about the leftovers today. To all you guys, I appreciate you guys coming through, man. Let's rock and roll. Big win. Big win. You know, at one point I was saying to myself, these guys look sluggish, right? It looks like they just didn't have it, right? You know, I was saying to myself, you know what? They've been off for 3 days. It's the holidays. I can imagine all the people they have over at their houses. People from, D.C. for Josh Hart. Of course, Chicago and all over the place for Jalen Brunson. Randall, he's from Texas. He probably had a whole bunch of Texas people. RJ's from Toronto. It's a whole mixed bag with this team, right? So you could imagine being in New York City, the amount of family members they had. Everybody wants to go shopping. They want to go to Fordham Road. They want to go to 125th Street, uptown Harlem, Fulton Street in Brooklyn, Green Acres, out there in Queens. Yeah, I know the spots. Yeah, I get busy out there when it comes to dressing, man. I get busy. So yeah, so they was all the spots, man. They probably went to Canal Street. Gotta get the leathers, the butter joints, you know what I mean? Pele, Averex, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody wanted to get busy. But these guys got a game. They're like, yo, mom, pops, yo, aunt, grandma, whoever, wifey, yo, you got to chill. I got a game. I got to lock in. They wasn't locked in. They wasn't. You know who was locked in? That boy that wants to get that bag. That was IQ. IQ was locked in. He was ready. He was ready. He said, everybody's sleeping. Everybody's still full from getting those leftovers. Not me. Not me. Because I want that bag. I want that bag, so my ribs is still touching. My ribs is touching. And that's what IQ played like today. Like his ribs is touching. Like he didn't have no Thanksgiving dinner because he's starving. That's how he played tonight. Like a player that's starving. Even Brunson had his moments, right? He looked like he was full, man. Full. Full from apple pie. Stuffing, right? But he does what all great players do, right? Does he not have ice water in his veins? Does Brunson not have ice water in his veins? Cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded. Listen, man, I'm telling you right now. He might even be first, second team All-NBA, man. Because he didn't play great. He didn't. He had his moments, but he didn't play good. Not to what we're used to. But he's still at 24 tonight. 24 and big clutch points towards the end, man. 2 3-point plays. Of course, the one he missed the free throw, but the second one. But then when he had that boy, what is it, Jacquez Jr.? I know the kid. He's from UCLA. He's a baller, man. He got a steal right there from him. He's a good boy. He's a good ball player. Brunson put him in the blender over in the corner, man. Took him downtown like he was in Dykeman. Put him in the blender. So let me show you something. Let me show you something, young boy. Once again, like I always say, as soon as it left his hands, like I said, game time. That's what you do when it's 21, right? When it's 21 and you got 19 points. You got 19 at the top of the key, you say clear it out. Even if they come in double during 21, it doesn't matter. As soon as I let go of my fingertips, I say game time. That's it. That's what Brunson was doing, playing 21. It doesn't matter with that guy, man. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. Listen. At one point, I was frustrated in the third, right? It was like a turn of two halves, right? Not even two halves. Let me switch. It was like a turn of two quarters. That third quarter, right? The third quarter of doom is what we're going to call it again. That's what it was, 2021. Felt like that all over again. It was like that last game. Third quarter of doom, man. Came out flat. It was 1 point. Miami scored 17 straight points. The Knicks scored nothing, man, in that third quarter. I said, yo, what's going on with these guys? Everyone's walking around. Everyone looks like they're sleeping, man. It looks like halftime they was already eating leftovers. It just seemed like that. It looked like they had gravy on their hands. They just didn't look like they look. I'm sorry. They just didn't look like they had it at all. Listen, how many of you guys were throwing stuff at the television, screaming? I know I was. But then IQ came in. He woke everybody up. Because the rest of them dudes were sleeping. He woke them all up. IQ started being IQ. This is what makes him so important for what it is that we do. This reminds me of a lot of games that happened last year when the first unit just didn't have it and IQ would come in and just spark up everybody and get everybody waking up. Guys were sleepwalking. IQ with his electric play would finally get these guys locked in. And then you just give it to Brunson to close the show. Close the show. I think it's a thing called momentum. It's real in sports. It truly is. And I think that's what happened with the Knicks and the Heat in that fourth quarter. Momentum. IQ hit a couple of threes, and they just couldn't make a shot. That's pretty much what it was in that fourth quarter. The Heat could not make a shot. Bam was knocking down everything. He just could not buy a basket in that fourth quarter. They missed Tyler Hero tonight. Jimmy was tough to deal with, as always. One thing I will tell you that's very glaring, one thing that is, and we've said this, and I'm gonna continue to say it. We're gonna have. Listen, man. Leon's gonna have to come off of them picks, man. We need a 3D wing now. We have no size. Jimmy's 6'8", man. You could see the difference in him, in Grimes, and Josh Hart. He's too big. He had a hard he had a harder time with RJ because RJ's bigger. RJ's 6'8", 6'9". He's big. So Jimmy has a hard time shooting over RJ or going past RJ. He's just a bigger, he's just a bigger person. I mean, that's it. Grimes and Josh Hart and DiVincenzo, those guys are about the same size, 6'4", 6'5". They're not big enough to guard those wings, man. And Jimmy was doing what he wanted. It looked too easy at times, man. Too easy. Got people in here. Okay, let me see. I love the Knicks heart. Gravity said absolutely gravity, absolutely. Gotta love it. Atlantic Lion said, God, my whole spirit dropped when Jimmy Butler pulled for that three on RJ to try to end it. I know it felt like RJ against the Celtics a couple years ago, right? Felt like that. It went in and out. I don't know. For some reason, I wasn't too worried about that shot. By the way the game was going in that fourth quarter, just the momentum that has shifted the Knicks' way, it just didn't seem like the Heat had enough legs, man. They just didn't have it. GZD said Randall played horrible in the first half. The turnovers were crazy. I liked Randall's aggressiveness. I will give him that. I liked how he was going to the basket a lot. But him and those double teams, sometimes passing on those double teams, he's got to make the easy pass, man. He's got to make the easy pass. Like, what's happened to him is that he's holding on to the ball too much, and he's not mellow, man. Like, he thinks he's mellow. He thinks he's LeBron. He's not a point forward. Like, we go through this with him every season, man. Tibbs is listen. Someone's got to tell him once again, dude, you're not a point forward. Get it in the box and operate from there. I want you making that first pass of the first person that's open. I don't want you trying to. He's like, listen, his assists are up. He makes good passes from time to time. But sometimes you see him, he's stumbling, bumbling. Like, it's just too much, man. Whenever the pill is in his hand, he's got to make a decision. It's like a 50-50 with him. I'll put it to you like that. But I do like his aggression, though. He's taking high percentage shots. He was punishing that boy, what's his name? Hightower. He was punishing him, which is good. That's what you want to see from Randall. But the turnovers were really kind of just it really hurt. Not just him. Listen, he was bad. I think he had about 6 or 7 tonight. But it was the whole team. The whole team was terrible. We just didn't have it for 3 quarters, man. Well, I'll say, I don't know. Just the third quarter was bad, man. Third quarter was bad. Third quarter was terrible. Probably our worst quarter of the season. I think we gave about 37 points, 39 points in that quarter, the most of the season so far. So that was terrible. Okay, Atlantic Lion says, we got to be one of the worst third quarter teams out there. You know what's funny, Atlantic Lion? I can say yes, but I can say no, too, because there's been games that we have come out great in the third quarter. But I just think, like, tonight, man, in the last 2 games, it's going back to old times, like 2021, third quarter of doom. GZD said the Knicks are the opposite of the Warriors in the third. It's a good point. It's a good point. What do you guys think about RJ? I thought RJ was solid tonight. I thought he was solid. He still looks like he's kind of coming off that illness. I don't know what he had, man, but he just doesn't look like himself. He's starting off slow. He's like dragging his knee a little bit again, right? I don't know if his knee's bothering him. He's still under the weather. I don't know what's going on with RJ. He picked it up in the second half, though. You got to admit, he picked it up in that fourth. He had 18 big points. I mean, he shot 50% from the field, I believe. He had that big 3 in the corner. He had that big N1, right? So he made some big time plays, right? So that's what big players do, man. A lot of times when you win the game and your star player or one of your star players come up with a big play, or Brunson comes up with like a big time shot, you forget how bad they played, right? Because they're there for winning time. In the last 2 minutes, the last 3 minutes of the game, when it's close like this is where you get your money. This is how you get paid, right? And I think that's what I saw tonight. I saw a team that knows how to win, man. That knows how to win in tough moments because they have a guy that can make shots, and that's Brunson. IQ was IQ. RJ came in with his points. Randall had his moments. But you have a guy that can close, man, and that's big. That's big. So imagine if they get another really, really good scorer, a really good wing, who could really produce, I think this team will be really dangerous. That's the one piece we're missing, man. We really, really need that. But I love what I saw tonight. I love what I saw. Hey, listen, man, what do you think about iHeart, man? iHeart gave some big minutes tonight. Bam tried to bang it on him. iHeart was there like, no, not in my house, man. That's not happening. It's not going to be no easy ones tonight. I love that from iHeart. That energy, man. You got to listen, man. You got to love what we could bring. Listen, when Mitch goes down, Mitch kind of, was having an off night. Bam is a tough check, man, because you're going to say he's about 6'9", 6'10", plays big, but he's athletic. He's tough to deal with, man. He really, really is, and I think that was going to be a tough matchup for Mitch. You know what I mean? Because you got to go outside and guard him. You got to, because he has a good jumper, he has a good fadeaway, he's strong in the middle, and he's not small. Like Bam is not like 6'7". He's a legit 6'10" guy. So remember, Kentucky, he played center. So he's the goods, man. So he's a tough check. So I think it was going to be a tough matchup for him. But I love the way iHeart came in and with his athleticism was able to somewhat hold off Bam a bit, right? And I think that helped the Knicks. You know what I mean? That definitely helped the Knicks because, how can I say? Mobility-wise, sliding your feet-wise, iHeart was a better check for Bam than Mitch, right? Mitch can't really move his feet as good as iHeart can because, he's bigger than iHeart. iHeart's about 6'10". Mitch is a legit 7'1", right? So it's hard for him to move his feet like that. So, that's why Bam is such a tough check, man. Bam is tough. He's tough. Okay, GZD said RJ needs to get involved more. You know what it is, man? GZD, it's not that he needs to get involved more. He looks like he's still coming off of whatever little illness he had, man. He still looks like that. And then also, too, I notice he's dragging his leg. Now, I don't know if it takes for him like a while to get warmed up, right? Because he's sitting on the bench, because his knee is what it is, right? I don't know kind of like what's going on with that. You know what I mean? He looks sluggish. If the best word that I could describe him right now. He looks pretty sluggish. So I just hope that he's okay. Because, he wasn't really doing too well with that sickness, man. That really, really took a toll on him. Had a big impact on him. You could tell. Once again, it wasn't no migraine. Because RJ came out and said, man, I don't wish this on nobody. I was a lot sick, sicker than what I thought. I didn't know what it was. So that says something else. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I hope he's okay. But it looks like he's still shaking it off a bit. He came on strong towards the end. And to me, that's all that matters, right? Because he made big shots when big shots were needed, right? He just did. And to me, that's winning time. You get the W, that's all that matters, right? So, but I do think he's involved. I just think that he's still coming back from whatever he was dealing with. And then also, too, I think his knee is kind of, you know what I mean? You can see it. Like, he's not. It's like he has to get warmed up. His body has to get warmed up because his knee's kind of, a little banged up. So, we got to see what that looks like for RJ. Okay, Gravity says RJ went back to last year RJ after the time off from the migraines. You know what, Gravity? Not really, man. I think he shot 50% from the field tonight, man. You know what I mean? So he shot really well. I mean, his three's not going down, but he's making his free throws. So that's better. So, I mean, his 3-ball number was going to come down, right? You know what I mean? He's not going to be shooting 50% from the year. But I love him attacking, going downhill, right? I do love that. And then also, too, Gravity, listen, man, he got points when points were needed. And to me, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the stars from the regular players, and the stars from the superstars, right? Like, when you start thinking of it, that's why RJ to me is a star on the rise because, yeah, he kind of, you didn't think he played that well because of whatever, but he got big points when big points were needed because Randall was non-existent in the second half. He just wasn't, right? He kind of started being Randall. First half, I thought he was kind of making a spark with his aggressiveness, but I don't know. Randall was just, he didn't have it in the second half. And a lot of turnovers from him tonight. So RJ was still able to contribute 18 points, which was huge tonight because we won by 2, right? So it shows the importance of having a guy like him, even though you think he may not be playing his best. He shot 50% from the field tonight, man. I mean, that's pretty solid, right, when you look at his numbers. I think he had 18 and 7. You know what I mean? So, I'll take a look at the stats again. We'll go through that together. But I'm just saying, like, so we got to be mindful of that. You know what I mean? I thought he was solid tonight. GZD said he shot well. Yeah, he did, man. That's what I'm saying. So he was solid tonight, man. He really, really was. You know, just watching how he was playing, watching how he was moving. The movement, he looked, like I said, he looked sluggish, but he started taking good shots, going to the basket. A couple of his threes was off. He hit that one big three in the corner. That was huge. But I don't know, man. You know, certain guys, man, they know when to turn it on. And I think that's what RJ did tonight. Atlantic Line said, RJ got the clutch gene. He's made the big shots. The game winner versus Boston, dunking on AD in LA a while back and making buckets against Bam in the paint. Absolutely. Absolutely, Atlantic Line. Absolutely. Harstein is one of the most slept on centers in the game, and it's crazy. He's coming off our bench. That's right. Atlantic Line, you're right on, man. You're right on with that. Listen, man. Listen, all in all, man, listen, this was a great team win. Because, guys, let's be honest. We didn't play well tonight. We didn't. We didn't play well at all. So you got to really give it to a lot of contributors. IQ, of course, at the top of the list. DiVincenzo had his hustle point moments. Josh Hart had his hustle point moments. Everybody, man. Everybody had their finger on this. But I mean, it's just there he is. Knicks Nation in the house. What's going on, man? Hope all is well with you, man. My man. Happy holidays to you, boss. If anybody hasn't gone on and subscribed to Knicks Nation, please subscribe. Like I said, he is the man, doing big things over there on that Twitter. Huge things over there. That's my guy. Everybody give him a big shout out once again. If you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe. Big win tonight, sir. Big win, big win, big win, big win. But all in all, this was a total team effort, man. Total team effort. Even when they weren't at their best. They were able to pull it out. IQ has earned himself a lot of money, man. IQ's pushing the envelope. He's saying, listen, man, look, you're going to pay me or what? He earned himself a lot of money, man. Now, the only issue with IQ is that he'll play how he played today, and the Sunday against the Suns, he'll get 10. And see, that can't happen if he wants to get paid. But playing how he played tonight, especially once again on national televised game on ESPN, for the whole league to see, primetime, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Knicks struggling, but IQ was looking sharp. Coming up with big-time buckets, single-handedly, with his offensive explosion, bringing the Knicks back. You had moments from Josh Hart. You had moments from DiVincenzo had his moments with some steals. iHeart being iHeart. RJ coming up with big buckets, of course. Brunson being the closer. But it was IQ that really steadied the ship and got the comeback going. Got everybody on their feet. Got everybody motivated. Being a microwave starter, right? Like Vinny Microwave Johnson back there with the Pistons. Man, remember him? Similar for IQ. Getting everybody going. That was huge tonight. His production. Saved the day, man. Saved the day. And listen, once again, right, it's certain wins in the season that really help bring a team together. And it's a win like this. Because they weren't at their best, man. I said earlier what it was. Listen, they probably got a whole bunch of people from the family visiting. The Heat were more locked in, man. They're on the road. All their families probably back in Miami enjoying the holiday. They're on the road. And the Knicks are home, comfortable. It's hard to get locked in and get focused and get ready to play. Yes, they're professionals, right? But they're still people. And it's not like a matinee game. It's a 7:30 at night game. So they got all day to chill with their family, all day. Yesterday was with their family. They was home for 3 straight days. And that's what we saw in the beginning of this game. That's what you saw in that third quarter. You saw a team that's been off 3 straight days, a holiday hangover, hanging out with family members, eating leftovers, doing all types of stuff. I said it earlier. But they were able to close the show, man. Brunson is solidifying. He's solidifying that he is a star in this league. I didn't say superstar. I said a star. Performances like this, right? And listen, once again, he didn't play his best. He didn't. You got to admit that. He did not play his best. But he closed the show. He closed the show, man. He closed the show like you're supposed to. Let's take a look at the stat line here, all right? So, look, so check it out. Listen. Like I said, the Knicks didn't shoot that well, right? They shot actually 48% altogether for the game, which is great, right? Which is great. 34% from 3, but 66% from the line. Terrible. The biggest thing was that third quarter, right? They lost by 17 points. Listen, they were up by 1. They were up by 1 going into the half. But like I said, starting off the quarter like 17-0 in that third is really what hurt them, right? But IQ giving that push is really what got them back in it. But then they went on a huge run in that fourth quarter. Defensively, they locked it in. Offensively, they exploded. They had 29 points in that fourth, almost 30 points. Outscoring the Heat 29-11. And that was the ball game. Right? Like I said, Randall's stat line, he was 5 for 12, 1 for 4 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line. Randall had 8 boards and 7 assists, but 6 big turnovers. Only had 13 points. Big Mitch was having an issue, like I said, with Bam. He only played 20 minutes. Brunson was 10 for 16 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, 3 for 5 from the line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 2 turnovers, but he had big 24 points. See, once again, the stat line looks weird, right? Because you say, dang, he shot 10 for 16. He shot really good from the floor. There was a time where he just was non-existent in that third quarter. So you didn't know what was going on with Brunson. But like all great players do, they step it up when it's time to step it up. And that's what he did in that fourth quarter towards the end of the game, right? And RJ, he had played 34 minutes similar to Brunson, but he had shot 50%. Like I said, 7 for 14. 1 for 5 from 3, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. But RJ was big on the boards tonight. He had 7 boards altogether. 7 rebounds, man, was big. 1 assist. He had 3 turnovers, man. Turnovers killed us all night. And he had 18 points. He was big. Grimes. We'll talk about him later. I was big, like I said before. He had 28 points. Altogether, he had 5 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. 2 points, but all in all, man, Ironheart's impact with his energy and defensive presence is really what impacted the game, right? So his plus minuses was plus 18. So a lot of times the numbers don't show it, man. A lot of times the numbers don't show his impact. Josh Hart was also big tonight. His numbers were huge. He had 10 points. He had 1 steal, 4 assists. He had 8 boards tonight, man. Shot 4 for 7 for the field, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, 1 for 1 from the line. He was also solid. DiVincenzo was big. He had 5 points, but DiVincenzo's active, like I always say. He had 4 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal. He was a plus 7. And, of course, IQ, right? 8 for 17 from the field, 4 for 8 for 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 20 points. IQ was huge. Fabulous win tonight, man. Fabulous win. I can't say it enough. Fabulous win. Loved it, man. Loved it tonight. Loved the tenacity. Loved everything. DiVincenzo should start over Grimes. I don't think we're there just yet, but I see it coming. NBIC, yo. GGD said, here comes the flames. Of course, here comes the flames. See, he said LOL, right? He's laughing because he knows. He knows he's coming. He knows he's coming. And I know he was ready. to come on the LV Live show and just say, you see how this team stinks? You see how we lost this game? He was ready to give it to him. He was ready for the Flames to come, right? See, he was ready. Great win tonight. Great win. Someone mentioned Grimes, right? Okay, Atlantic Lion mentioned Grimes. The problem with Grimes is this. Like I said to you before, right? He's not a good player, because he is, right? The issue with Grimes is that if he is not hitting threes and he's playing against a top all-star defender, he doesn't give you anything. Like so he goes over on offense, he goes in the corner, he doesn't present he doesn't cause any problems. Like he doesn't make the other guy, who's the other star player who's defending him, they don't worry about him. They feel like he's not existent. So it's like on offense, at times you're playing 5-on-4. Yes, he'll come up and hit the three from time to time, but he doesn't impact the game in other ways. Like, and this is where the DiVincenzo conversation comes in. Like, I'm not saying he should start over Grimes right now. I think still give Grimes time, but he impacts the game, and in other ways, he gets rebounds. You saw the steal he had over there. He looked like a defensive back the way he intercepted the ball, right? He gets busy like that. Then DiVincenzo, he takes it to the hole. He penetrates, right? He does different things. And when you're playing in a game, man, like it's more than just scoring. It's more than just, you know what I mean? Because it's not like, is Grimes locking up anybody? He's not, man. He's getting cooked. Like, it's not like he's sitting there just shutting dudes down like he's a defensive stopper. Like, he's solid defensively. But once again, like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I don't think it's such a big drop-off defensively from him and DiVincenzo. Like, yeah, he's a better defender, but it's not like it's not like a Grimes to Fourier comparison. That's not what's happening. Because that's what happened last year, and that's why Fourier doesn't see any time, and Grimes plays now instead of Fourier. Because Fourier cannot defend. He's like a cone drill, man. He can't stop anybody. Right? So that's the issue. You know what I mean? So just watching the game, man, I just was kind of saying to myself, like, Grimes has got it. Like, he's got to be more aggressive offensively, and if the ball goes, he's got to be crashing the boards. Like, he doesn't do that either. He doesn't rebound well either. Like, DiVincenzo, him and Josh Hart are like the same player, man. I don't know what it is in that Villanova water, but they're like the same player. They're active, man. They're active on the rebounds. They're active in passing lanes. They take the ball to the basket. They're just active ball players. And I don't see that from Grimes. I just don't. You know what I mean? And so that's the only issue I have with the kid. Man, I think he's solid. I think he's a really good ball player. He just seems like he's struggling to find himself on the court at times. And then if you're going against a guy like Jimmy Butler, like Jimmy Butler's big, man. He's 6'8". He's big. He's big on that wing, man. He's tough to deal with, man, when he's going downhill. And then he hits that fadeaway on you, man. He just stretches his arms out. Whereas he tries to do that to RJ, it's a tougher shot because RJ's bigger. So, So that's the thing with Grimes, right? That's the issue with him. Still think he's a good player. Still think he's a good piece to what the Knicks like to do. But DiVincenzo's making an impact, man. He is. He is. You got to give it to him, man. And so the Knicks look different when he comes into the game. It's like he brings a lot more energy, right? So here we go. Now he's quoting Malika Andrews. You can't make this stuff up, people. Okay, in the words of Malika Andrews to SAS, Dante is a bench player, not a starter. He only had 5 points. I told you, it's the offense and the lack of playmaking that is affecting Grimes. Look at Grimes' stat line, man. He's not getting no rebounds and nothing, man. Like I hear what you're saying. Okay, cool, right? But he's not impacting the game any other way, man. It's not like he's stopping. But Jimmy Butler was doing what he wanted against Grimes. So it's not like he's out there stopping anybody. And then offensively, it's like they're playing 5-on-4, man. He doesn't put any pressure on the defense. He doesn't even penetrate, man. Listen, man. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying switch yet. I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is, Grimes isn't going to make it easy for Tibbs to say, okay, let's try this out. I'm telling you, he's making it too easy, man. Killer Dogs, what's going on, man? Happy holidays to you, man. Hope all is well. Hey, man, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, man. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves, man, with their family and friends and everybody, man. This is a beautiful time of the year, man. No better place on the planet in the holidays than New York City, man. No better place. Jesus D said, Grimes only had 3 though, right? So it's right, but here's the thing, Jesus D, and I'm trying to tell NBIC this, right? It's not just about points. It's how you're impacting the game. And yes, Grimes has his moments, but he's not doing enough. Like rebounding, like DiVincenzo does it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Similar to Josh Hart. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Atlantic Lion said in 2K terms, they got to raise Grimes' shot tendency. Hey, man, don't we all wish it was 2K, man? The Knicks would be undefeated, B. I'll make them undefeated. I'll make them, everybody be 99. Everybody. But, no, man, I just think that, that's what Grimes has to do. I think he has to do that, and that's what's going to he's got to make the game easier. The game's not hard, man. But I think sometimes he gets caught up in, I just think that he's, overthinking everything. You know what I mean? The game, the game will dictate to you what you should do. MBIC says, look at Grimes' defense in most games. He makes it hard to score for most players. He does what Tibbs wants him to do. Listen, Grimes is solid, man, all across. I'm not tearing the kid apart. I'm just saying, offensively, it's hard because he doesn't impact the game. So you just can't. It's okay. All right. Why is Fourier not playing? Because he don't play no defense, right? He plays offense though. He could shoot that pill, but he don't play because he doesn't play defense. Grimes is offensively, he struggles, man. He struggles, so it doesn't give any balance to the offense because no one is afraid of what Grimes could do. Now, if he's knocking down the 3, it spreads the floor a little bit more, but no one is worried about Grimes, man. So they pack the paint because they try to kick it out to him. He's missing threes. Like, he got the 1-3 in the corner, but he's not. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's just not impacting the game enough. And so that's why his minutes are down. Right? How many minutes did he play tonight? I think 16 minutes. Let me check. How many minutes did he play? I'm sorry. He played 21 minutes. DiVincenzo played 16. Grimes played 21 minutes. But Grimes wasn't even in winning time, man. He didn't even get no minutes. DiVincenzo did, but Grimes didn't. So a lot of times, man, it's not who starts the game, it's who finishes. Grimes only starts because he's a Tibbs guy. Atlantic Lion, I totally agree, but that could switch very fast, man. Because DiVincenzo he's just making such an impact. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. It's hard to keep a guy like that. Like, just you got to give him minutes. You got to give him minutes. But, I don't think it matters because right now, what are the Knicks now? 9-6, right? So they're doing pretty good, man. You know what I mean? Their record is pretty good in the last, 7 games? Last 7 games, what are they? 5-2? Something like that? Right? So they're playing really well, man. They're playing really well. So I don't, so for me, I'm not like sitting here saying, okay, we got to switch it now. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is I would not be surprised if by January he switches it because DiVincenzo starts making a push. He starts playing better than Grimes. I'm just being honest. So, but hey, man, listen, with wins like this, man, with games like this, you just got to be glad that the team came ready to go. Ready to fight, ready to end the game strong. You got to love that about this team. You got to. You know what I mean? So, even though they were shaky in the third. To me, all that matters is that they win the game. And they pull it out in any way that they need to pull it out, because this league is tough, man. To get wins, it's very, very hard to get wins in this league. So for the way that the Knicks were able to close it out, as bad as they looked in that third quarter, they were able to close it out in that fourth, man. To me, that's all that matters. NBIC says, the major concern I see with this team is the playmaking from the point guard. When your 4 and your 5 have more assists than your point guard, this is a concern, and it will affect us in the playoffs. Dante is a bench piece. NBIC is rolling. Okay. The point guard position is not what it once was. If you're a point guard in this league and you're trying to be like a John Stockton or like a facilitator like how Mark Jackson was, you're going to struggle in this league. You're going to come off the bench. You got to be a scoring guard. Most guys now are combo guards. Dame Dollar, like, he's a combo guard. He's not a, you know what I mean? Like, these guys, they score at a high clip, man. Sometimes they have a lot of assists, sometimes they don't. It doesn't matter. They do what the game calls them to do, like I've said before. But Brunson is Brunson, man. Let him be who he is. That's it. You know what I mean? So I don't have any issue with how he plays. He plays just the way all these other great point guards play, like a Kyrie or like all them other guys. Like I said, Dame Dollar. A lot of these guys, man, they are not like the super like quintessential set your guys up. They're not that. That's not their game. They're scoring guards. They're combo guards. So, they can get assists, but I mean that's not their game, man. Atlantic Lion said, I'll tell y'all this. I love seeing IQ and Brunson on the floor at the same time. When IQ is hot, no chance you take him out. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to close him out, man. Atlantic Lion, because listen, number one, he can hit free throws. He's shooting 90% from the line, as always, right? So that's why you keep him in the game, and he's a threat. When IQ is driving to the basket, hitting that floater, hitting that step away, fall away shot in that middle of the paint, he's deadly. And then he steps out, he hits that three, has you on skates. That's when IQ is at his best. So you have him and Brunson at the top of the key. I usually close it out. You have him, Brunson, right? Sometimes it's either Josh Hart or it's either RJ. Most of the time it's Josh Hart, Big Mitch, and Randall. Tough lineup. Tough lineup because Josh Hart can rebound. So can Big Mitch with them offensive boards. Randall is Randall. And you got guys like Brunson and IQ that can create their own shot. And then Brunson is just the closer, man. Period. So, so that end of the game starting lineup is really, really tough. NBIC said, when the playoffs come and the game slows down, you have to get your team involved. And all of them have higher assist totals. NBIC, did you see what Brunson did in the playoffs last year? Did you see, man? I can't even get the words out, man. I'm so burning right now. This guy's talking about Brunson. Did you see what Brunson did in the playoffs last year, man? Was anybody caring about getting the playoffs? Don't care about that. They don't care about getting good guys involved. They care about winning games, coming up big time shots, big time whatever, rebounds, passes, whatever. Do what you do to get your team to win the game. That's it. Do what you do. Use your superpower, whatever your superpower is. And Brunson's superpower is being Brunson. That's it. That is it. Atlantic Lion said, I have no issue with Brunson not passing because he is taking efficient shots with minimal turnovers. Agreed. Because that's not his game, man. You got to let him be him. Let him be him. That's it. Let him be him, man. That's it. That's it. Let him do what he does. GZD, the problem with the ball dominant passing guards is the consistency. After a while, the system doesn't work unless they have a perfect piece, a.k.a. Russ, Harden, and Trae Young. Good points. Good points. They're still tough players, man. Those guys are tough, man. When Westbrook was in his prime, he was tough. Harden was in his prime, he was tough. Trae Young is deadly. You know that. So those guys deserve the juice that they get, man. But that's the way the game is going. So you got to change with the times. Got to have a scoring guard at the top of the key. That's everybody. Them dudes can't look what LaMelo does, man. Look at LaMelo, man. Look what he was doing to the Knicks. Yes, he gets his assists from time to time, but he's a big scoring guard, man. He's 6'6", 6'7". He's like SGA, man. Those guys are tough to deal with, man. Tough to deal with. GZD said, I would rather have a scoring point guard with good role players on my team. Absolutely. Only exception is Luka. Yeah, Luka's a crybaby. Hell of a talent, but he's a crybaby. NBIC, here we go. He said, I saw a loss to a better team in Miami. Listen, man. Were you watching the same playoffs like we all were watching? I'm just curious. Help LV understand. Were you watching the same playoffs that we were watching? Why did they lose? Because Randall was non-existent. His ankle was hurt. And IQ was a shell of himself. That's why we lost. If IQ was IQ, we're winning that series. If Randall is half of who he is, we would have won that series. Because there's nobody. Even with that defensive team they had, there was nobody that could check Brunson. And Brunson was being Brunson tonight. At the end of the game, ice water, nobody could touch him. So, come on, man. Come on. You got to give the guys his props. NBIC says, bingo. Playoffs is a different type of animal. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Brunson showed how he could step it up during that, right? When it becomes a different type of animal, then he becomes a different type of animal also. Brunson's different, man. He's different, and you gotta identify that, NBIC. He's different, man. He's different. He's different. He's different. Oh no, you gotta love this win tonight. You gotta love this win. You really, really do. You know, there was moments in this game where I was doing one of these, right? When they started making that push, man, I loved that. I loved that drive. I loved that grit to dig deep and pull out a great win tonight out of the jaws of defeat, man, because I thought they was going to lose this game. I really did. I thought I was going to have to get on here, listen to NBIC, listen to a whole bunch of stuff about how the Knicks stink. And now you see how resilient this team is. How much grit and fight that they have, man. We're a dangerous team, man. We're a dangerous house because what we have is we have a lot of guys that can make shots. And that's all that this league wants. You got to have guys that can make shots. And we have guys that can rebound. That's what makes us very, very different from most teams. NBIC says, I was watching the same playoffs. Miami took it light on us. Wow, he said they took it light. They also rested Butler. So is leaps and bounds better than Tibbs? He will have his team ready. Yeah, Spo is legit, man. I like Spo. Spo's a great coach. Spo's a great coach. I never say they stink, just won't win in the playoffs. They're going to win. I think they'll be fine. Listen, like I've said before, right? We're just missing that one piece. We just need that 3D wing and we're good to go. That's all we need. That's all we need. That's all we need, and I think we'll be good. All right, so listen. Let's take a look here. All right. Great win tonight. As you see, we lost at the top there to the Wolves, Timberwolves, right? Tough loss, but we came back with a big win tonight. So check it out, guys. Listen, if we can pull off a victory Sunday, remember, they don't have no Bradley Beal, so we just got Booker and, of course, KD. If we can get a steal there, if we can pull out a victory there, these next three I think we got. We got the Hornets again. We've been beating up on them left and right. We got the Pistons, and we got the Raptors. We know the Raptors give us problems, but I think that we can pull it out. NBIC says, check Tibbs receipts. We got a great win tonight, man. Let's be happy. Let's be happy today, man. Let's be happy that we got a great win, NBIC. I hope you're eating a whole bunch of leftovers. I keep on talking about the leftovers because, listen, I had a good Thanksgiving, as you guys can see, right? I'm in a good mood. Good mood. I think that Spoelstra is the reason Miami has been consistently good. Every player looks good in that system. Now, you know what it is? They have a certain guy that they're looking for, right? So they don't care how good a guy is, how he scores or whatever. They want a guy. They have a culture, man. They have a culture there. They know exactly the type of player that they want. They don't care who he is. If he doesn't fit what they're willing to do, you know what I mean? Like, they have to be in shape to play there too. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that they got going on down there that a lot of players wouldn't be able to deal with. And I'm talking about some of the top players in the league. They would not be able to deal with. You know what I mean? So, and that's just the play. That's to get on the court. You know what I mean? You gotta like be in shape. Like, you gotta pass like physicals and physical assessments. Like, they got a lot of stuff going on down there that the average, a really good player couldn't go down there. They couldn't deal with. So they got a certain player, man. They have a culture. They have a guy who they want to play because they have a certain way of basketball that they play. So a perfect example, like Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, those guys fit exactly what they like to do. Like the kid, perfect example, the kid from UCLA, he's a perfect Miami Heat player. And he's big too. He's another one. He's about 6'8", 6'9". He's really good. I've seen him play at UCLA for a couple of years now. So he's perfect to what it is that they like to do. He's big. He can handle the rock. He could pass. He could rebound. He could defend. He could score. He's a gritty, hard-nosed player. Like, he's really good. I was hoping the Knicks could get him, but because he's perfect for tips too. Like, he's a perfect match. You know what I mean? Like, if the Knicks could get him, if the Knicks could get him and he can come off the bench, I think we will be good. That's how good that kid is. He's gonna play really, really well for the league this year. I'm telling you. He's really good, man. I've seen him in college. Yes, this kid's good. I knew he was going to be an NBA player. First couple times I saw him play, I said, okay. It's just certain guys' games translate over to the league, right? And his game translates perfectly with the Miami Heat. Perfectly. All right, guys, so you see the schedule here, so hopefully we can pull out the win Sunday. It can put us to 10-6, man. The Knicks are rolling, man. So listen, let's be happy here. Let's be optimistic about this team, but it was a great win tonight. Huge win. Brunson was big. Ice water in his veins. RJ was solid. But to me, it was IQ that led the way, man. IQ was the savior tonight, and he helped pretty much spearhead the Knicks to a comeback victory tonight in the Garden on Black Friday, all right? But listen, that's my show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. All right, I appreciate everybody coming by, rocking with your boy LV tonight. Once again, happy Black Friday. Happy holidays to you and yours. Enjoy the weekend. And I'll be back Sunday, man, to talk this Knicks talk and watch us get that victory against Phoenix on Sunday. All right, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out, people.